Wow, 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 wow.
Is that your intro? Wow, what a welcome to...
Hello and welcome to Movie Theater Time Machine. Talk about a porno.
I mean,
yeah, you saw the title. You know what this one is. This one's going to be fun. This is Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and this is Movie Theater Time Machine. I'm Nick.
I'm Cass.
I'm Dan.
I'm Josh.
Is it Zach with a K or something?
It says CK.
Yeah.
But there was another Zach in their class, and it was like, oh, the other Zach. There can only be one.
Yeah,
In my world, there is no other Zach.
Yeah.
the captions kept spelling it with a CH.
Yeah.
So big.
That is incorrect.
Now,
I think.
here's a couple funny things about this. There is one thing that conservatives hate about this movie, and it's the funniest
movie?
fucking thing, yes. It's the funniest
It's the movie,
fucking thing
right?
about
The
it.
whole movie.
No.
No?
One thing about this, and I'll get to it when we get to it, it set
Is it
Fox News people afire
Is
on
it
this.
the bubble scene?
No.
It's not the pegging scene either. So
No. Can you believe that they're demasculating Americans with this? I laughed my damn ass off, and I want to mention it. No, the hell, I'll mention it right now. It's at the end when they have the hyphenated names.
Oh my God!
Can you believe it? They have this way. Oh yeah. So Seth Rogen is really just a demasculated man. He took her name.
Nick Weber Agnew.
Yeah, just like, yeah, that is damn good. That is damn good. You know what? That nothing makes me fucking laugh even harder, you fucking idiots. Oh, God. Zack and Miri Make a Porno, also known as Zack and Miri, starred Seth Rogen, Elizabeth Banks, Craig Robinson, Jason Mewes, Tracy Lords, Jeff Anderson, Katie Morgan, Ricky Maybe, Justin Long, Brandon Routh, and Tyler
Brandon
Levine. Yeah.
My name is Brandon St. Randy. I fucking love you, Brandon.
He
Long.
stole the fucking movie for that, man.
It is.
Oh, especially...
They're so pilled up they don't even know what's going on.
They fight like real.
They really don't know either. No. It's just like his asshole was like a lotus flower.
Orchids. It's orchids because orchids they grow in shit.
Let me be your Sherpa up the mountain of gayness.
Okay.
Well, the name Orchid comes from, like, balls.
He stole the damn movie.
This movie was written and directed by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it's one of the only movies he's not in.
He's not in it. Jason Mewes is in it, but he's not in it.
Is it technically in the View Askew universe?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was
even though we have Lester rather than Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at Brandon St. Randy. I thought was in another movie.
No.
It's just like I'm like, wait a minute. I swear he's done this before. You're right.
Yeah. Brandon Long.
You make fucking movies? Yeah.
Fucking
movies.
This is why I wanted you to watch this one so bad, because it's like you hadn't seen it. I know your sense of humor. Yeah. I knew you were gonna like it, so I was like, okay, this is why I wanted you to see it.
No, I thought you were. I assumed you were part
of my audience. Yeah. Who's your audience? Not you. You're like pussy.
You. Yeah,
not
of course
you.
Not you. Oh, all right.
But I got Seth Rogen's character. I was like, it's been a real pleasure meeting you.
Best thing about this reunion.
He didn't want to go to the reunion in the first place, and he gets to meet a porn star, regardless of what side of porn he's on. It's like, dude, fuck yeah.
Okay, I kind of like you. Yeah, that's all right.
Something interesting.
It's like, oh my God, is that granny panties?
We call that Nickelodeon chic. That looks like Hannah Montana, yeah.
No, I like the Kevin Smith movies.
I do too.
Yeah,
What's funny about this one is when I first saw it, I did not know it was written and directed by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
The first time I watched this movie was directly after it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
We watched it together with a huge group of people, and I mean like 10, 12 people sitting in one living room watching
piled
this.
into that living room, which was not really
movie theater. But it wasn't. The TV wasn't big, and the room wasn't big.
Well, it was still that projection screen nonsense at
True.
the time, wasn't it?
Oh no! This was on before you got. This was before you and I were together. Remember?
No, this was at...
This was at your house.
At
This
my-
was at your apartment. Yep,
All right.
with that you shared with your sister at the time, and it was
Right,
in your.
okay,
It
yeah,
was
that
in that
one.
front tiny living
The
room.
sideways living room.
Yes, the
Yeah.
sideways living room. It was actually in the smaller apartment.
Yeah,
And-
everything was sideways in that apartment because it was the only way it would fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's like at least 12 of us in this room
Yeah.
watching this movie on a small, like 32-inch screen. I say small at 32-inch, but it's true.
I have a computer monitor bigger than that.
Exactly. My point is, we watched it directly after it came out on DVD. It wasn't something I had ever really... when I saw the commercial for it, I wasn't that interested in it. And then we watched it, and it was really funny because Zack and Miri mirrored Dan and I very well.
It's like,
Yeah, I had a lot of questions on that.
it's like
Other
their
than-
relationship, aside from the whole making of a porn thing,
Yep.
is
what we were for the
basically
longest
us.
time.
Yeah, and I was looking through. I'm like, okay, because I like there's some of the things Seth Rogen said. I'm like, I instantaneously saw you, Dad.
Right.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah, just I'm like, yeah, like,
would you trust food I gave you?
I
No,
would not
no, I
trust
would not
food
trust food you
you
gave
gave
me.
me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's people, there's not for people. There's for people who have dignity. What
Fuck you.
dignity you have left?
Fuck you, I have dignity.
Where? Is it in your giant underpants?
Yeah. Right.
Like, and
I love that. Fuck you, I have dignity.
what's funny is that the line later on too, when they're sitting at the bar and he looks at her and he says, "Your parents are dead. Sorry."
Yeah.
And she looks at him and goes, "Your grandparents are dead. Sorry."
Yeah.
It's like
I looked at you and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, and I just kind of like, yeah, okay, now we're in. All right.
there were a lot of
Sorry,
parallels.
so who are we going to disappoint?
before the porno anything gets
Yeah.
involved, a lot of it was Dan and I in high school, after high school, and because we are the same age as the
Yeah.
people in the movie at the time.
Yeah.
I think we're like a year off because
Yeah, I think they're a year older than us.
The year like they were the class of '99. We were class of 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
So,
So
but what was funny, like I said, what was funny about it is the ages lined up. A lot of it lined up. So when I'm watching this movie, I'm sitting in his living room like, this is fucking weird.
Jesus Christ, and we
This
both
is
looked
weird.
back and forth like,
We kind of
Jesus
looked at it
Christ.
just like, what the hell? Like this, and we didn't even get together until like 6 months after that.
Uh-huh.
So that happened in the summer. We watched this movie, and that December, Dan and I got together. So
Damn,
it was.
and what year was that?
This was in 2008, 2009, something like that.
I thought it was. Wait, we've been 13. So we've been married for 10. So
Yep.
yeah, 2000.
2009. Yeah.
2008, 2009
Yeah.
ish.
It was like I said, it was right after it came out, and it came out in 2008.
Yeah, dang.
So, yeah, this movie has a particular, soft place in my heart,
Yeah.
and it's also fucking funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
Don't do that. Little dog don't like it.
Yeah, there's one scene that I just like. I had to pause it for a second because I started fucking wheezing.
Which
Like,
one?
no, when we get to it, we get to it. No,
could have lived without seeing that guy get shat on the face.
Okay,
Yeah.
that part I will admit freely. As soon as that part
Yeah.
comes up, I close my eyes.
Yeah, but that's a Kevin Smith thing because it's like when I
Getting
saw.
shit in the face.
No, but like he has like one thing in every movie that's just like a little over the borderline.
Yeah, it's a bit over
Like
the
a
top.
little bit, like there's like
Well,
my
Jason Mewes' full frontal was also there.
That
that I didn't need either.
I was fine with it because it was in a very funny sort of.
Yeah,
And we
like-
purposely didn't warn you about it either.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's-
yeah. What do they call it? The Dutch.
The Dutch
Oh,
Rudder.
the Dutch
Yeah,
Rudder.
Dutch Rudder,
Genius,
Yes.
isn't it?
It's like
Yeah,
I'm yelling, I'm touching my dick, you're touching my arm.
I didn't need to know that about Jay, and it made me, Maybe think of what Silent Bob or what they did before, they got there. Like, what they did at the stop later.
And there is going to be a scene in Fanboys that you are going to go, what the fuck? And I'm going just there.
Okay, fine. But
Like I said, this month, other than the very last movie, this month should be Craig Robinson month.
Yeah.
Because he's in the next one, too.
His character is funny as hell. Like, well, I was the same ass, like same wife for years, man.
Yeah, same pair of titties for 10 years.
I need
20
new titties.
years.
20 years.
20 years. They've been married for
He's
20
married
years.
to her. She's horrible.
I need new titties.
Now I'm Oprah rich.
Oprah.
She's spending all of it, though.
She's spending all of it.
She's just like, the one time you see her, she's just screaming about
And
white
what's-
boys.
have you ever seen...
You left that
Martin-
white boy in my
Yeah.
basement.
It's the same character. I looked at him like,
Oh, you're a
yeah.
director.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a director?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
direct me
eventually
to a
has
new
to a,
fucking husband.
to a new motherfucking husband. That's
You
it.
got saggy ass. You say, we match.
Dude, guess what, motherfucker? We match.
Yeah, but you got that right. I mean, this is my humor, just the dumb little gross out bits. So
Yeah.
it got me right to that point. I'm like, yeah, this is funny. But then there's one scene where we get to it. I fucking lost my shit.
There's so many good scenes in this movie, though, that are perfect for at least the time frame that they're in. Like the discussion about Lost during the sex scene.
It's like they're on the island, they're off the island.
I think they're all dead. We all shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I think they're all in hell.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
That's all they're doing.
And there's this
They on the
boring-ass
island. They're off the
bullshit.
island.
No, but it's Craig Robinson lingo. That's all they're gonna do.
Right. I thought it was supposed to come on her titties.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but it was pretty on sale.
Pretty himself, man. It's just deadpan through the whole thing. Yeah, but there's a few. Well, actually, there's a few. I think of one other Craig Robinson scene that just made me crack up. A couple people this does star in this movie, though. I think we mentioned is Tracy Lords.
Yep.
And Katie Morgan, who are actual porn stars.
Yes.
One's a former porn star.
Once a former porn, so she
Yeah.
hasn't done porn in a long time.
Yeah,
And when she did porn, she was underage.
yeah, that's why all
She's
but the
currently
last
a-
two.
She's actually also a techno artist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
her
I've
song
heard
was in
some of her
Blade.
stuff. It's pretty good.
It was also in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, was it really?
The song
That's
Control
right, it
was
was.
on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
That's right, it was. I had to. Like,
She's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
she's pretty versatile, honestly.
yeah, and that was.
In this movie particularly, they had talks about her doing like a topless scene,
Yeah.
and she was breastfeeding at the time, which is why she didn't do it.
I understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
I just remembering it just when I saw that. I've forgotten all about that Mortal Kombat thing. Because I saw that and I had to try to pretend with my ex-brother-in-law
Yeah.
and my mom that we both didn't know who Tracy Lords was at the time. And, it was funnier because I knew who she was
It's
at
like,
the
Tracy
time.
Lords, I didn't
Yeah, but my
know
brother-in-law
who it
had
is.
to pretend he didn't know either. At the same point, it was like, we just kind of sideways looked at each other like, oh shit, you too?
It's like, oh, you know her. Oh, I see.
Oh, boy.
see.
Oh man, so in
It's
this
like,
movie.
lady, I've seen your vagina. Like, okay.
It's just so shit. Oh, god dang. John, if you're listening to this, that was one funny as hell day. Okay, so this movie here stars with Zach Brown and Mary Linky, who are roommates in Monroe, Pennsylvania.
Yep. And they've been friends for a long ass time.
We're friends since the first grade, and they have this. They share this apartment. They haven't paid their utility bills in months.
I needed new skates
Yeah.
to skate with.
Yeah, well, I need that really, and
He's a terrible barista.
yeah,
He's a terrible, untrustworthy employee.
yeah.
I tell you.
Which is kind of a terrible idea for like the name of a coffee shop, either Bean Gone.
Bean and gone.
Yeah.
Bean and Gone, like it just like okay.
Right.
It happened to have the the right place for the shop, right where all the traffic is coming in and out of the mall. So that makes sense. He works at the coffee shop, she works in the mall, which we don't really see exactly what she does.
She works for some, if I remember correctly, she gave somebody a good deal on something so she could go into the clothing store and borrow some clothes.
Oh.
Yeah, a good deal. Oh, what the hell did she say? I can't remember the exact.
I do not recall.
But she works in the mall at a store. Like, she works in retail.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they're going to go that night, and they get out there. The night before Thanksgiving is when the water gets shut off, but they got to attend their high school reunion.
Yeah, as long as she's got soap in her hair, and she's like,
Oh,
take the water out of the toilet. And he pulls up the door. He's like, there's poo in there.
There's poo in there.
Get back off of the toilet. I'm just like, oh. But
The door was closed. The door was closed over.
The door was closed, Zach.
When I left the downstairs door cracked for you guys, like literally I went, it was closed over.
And at the reunion, they meet up with one of their former classmates, and try to remember who the hell they are.
The other Zach.
You also have to remember Brendan Roth at this time was Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Brendan Roth. When they're checking in and they have the girl who's got married.
Okay. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Kevin Smith's wife.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Yes, that Jen something or other. She's got a very long last name, but that's Kevin Smith's wife. And she makes a couple of cameos in a couple of his movies. But when I saw her, I'm like, ha, that's cute. Okay.
Fine, just make it quick.
Yeah.
No, not her.
Not her?
No, the one when they check in, they try to get him on the email list.
I love your pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turn around and doing the thing between the
Yeah.
And in the
Is he
reunion,
supposed to be endeared to us yet? Because he's kind of coming off as.
I don't find him endearing until much later.
yeah,
Like this.
Is there a character arc thing going on? I think.
possibly.
It's more of a. Let's establish what these two are like with each other, and then once circumstances end up becoming what they are, how they can finally be honest about how they feel about each other.
Yeah.
That's part of it. It's like Zach doesn't really change the way he is, except he starts getting motivated when they start making a porno, and it's a completely different sort of Zach that she's used to.
Yeah.
She's not used to the motivated Zach. She likes the motivated Zach. And if this is going to continue to get him motivated, it might be something worthwhile to get into.
Keep going and at least get bills. Let's get something
Right.
done. Because at the point the night before, the water shut off, the power is shut off,
Yep. And the heat is shut off.
and the heat is shut off.
And they're talking in front of a trash can in their living room.
And before we get to that, though, is where she's changing in the coffee house, and then you have the granny panties scene.
And she is not lying about every girl having a pair of those period panties. Because no matter how cute your underwear can look, you need coverage during a certain time of the month.
Yeah.
There's no
That's
lie about this. And they're fucking comfortable. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, when Zach notices the two kids filming and he puts his ass right in front of the screen.
Sorry, guys. Am I in the way?
Yeah. Sorry, get the fuck out. At the reunion, though, when he ends up talking with Brandon St. Randy.
After Miri is like trying to hit on some old
Bobby Long.
Bobby Long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, there is a black and white photo of Bobby Long who's in a football uniform, but you do see Zach as well.
Yes.
That is a still shot from Freaks and Geeks.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure if it was him or not, but I knew that was Brendan Roth's obvious high school photo.
Yeah, that is still shot from him with Freaks and Geeks in that one.
And he's supposed to be like 16 or 17 in that show, so...
Yeah, well, supposed to be.
So that's what I just said.
Supposed to be.
23-year-old, 16-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was younger. I think they were close to the age. It wasn't the greatest 35, 17-year-old of all time.
No, it was more of a maybe 19 or 20-year-old playing a 16 or 17.
Are we talking about Freaks and Geeks?
Freaks and Geeks, I would say they were closer to 18.
Yeah. They were definitely older teenagers.
Yeah, they were closer to 18, but, James Franco was a little older. I think he was closer to 20.
James Franco is just gross. Though.
Yeah, but when they have that, and she's trying to seduce Bobby Long and drinking to try to, he's going to drink until he passes out, and ends up enjoying himself more with Randy because Randy is just telling him, and I wish I had this verbatim.
He's not a Monrover.
Yeah,
is the whole thing. He is.
Oh no, I'm from Los Angeles. I
Ooh,
have that, but then
yes.
this is why I haven't. I have this. I wanted to have this whole thing there, but just going from memory a bit. With Randy, just say Randy was talking to Bob Long. This is why you haven't met my mom. You haven't met your mom yet.
This is why you haven't met my mother. You're just too.
You get too jolly.
You get too merry. You get too merry for the entire room.
Yeah. I'm Bobby Long.
And he's like, I'm sorry, Monrovers.
Yeah.
My name is Brandon St. Randy, and I love Bobby Long. I've not seen this movie at all.
And they return home. The electricity shut off. Inspired by him, he says, the success of the viral video. Try to figure out they're at the bar.
They go to a bar. So my first reaction to them at the bar, though, is thinking you don't have the money for your utility bills, but you can go out and buy beer at a bar.
Yeah.
Beer's $3. Utility bills are more.
Yeah.
But beer's not $3. Even in 2008, beer was probably about $5 a pop.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, it's like, dude, I get why you're there because it's probably warm, but
yeah,
but
their apartment is not.
I know, but it's still like, okay, you're not going to be there that long. Okay.
No, they need a better place. I mean, if you have a place, yes, the water, electricity, and the heat is shut off. But you're able to get a trash can in there big enough to be able to light on fire.
Also, did you see the size of that apartment?
Yeah.
That apartment is huge.
Yeah, right.
So,
it's a movie apartment. It's not anything that anyone actually gets in real life.
Right.
They need a lot of room to film.
Yeah, but how bad is that they can light that and nobody cares and nobody says anything?
and where's the ventilation?
Right. Yeah, right, yeah.
It's just like,
And
what?
they're throwing their bills in for kindling.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
How do you gotta pay them?
I'm sorry. We've been in an apartment that doesn't have heat because our heat broke.
Yeah.
Did you have a trash can? Did
No!
you think of a trash can?
No, we just put multiple layers on.
Multiple layers and blankets.
I was here when that happened.
Yes.
The connection. It just
Yeah.
between here and the basement. We just weren't getting the heat. It was just like, this sucks.
This sucks.
Yeah.
It's like it's 20 degrees outside, but it's only 50 degrees in my apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never quite got to the point where you could see your breath,
No.
but we got close.
We got close to it.
Yeah.
Though. My point, though, is we did not bring a trash can into the house and set shit on fire.
I was here when that happened.
Yes.
I remember that. I was like, oh, geez.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Yeah.
pleasant time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what's going on with them. And after this is when they decide that they're going to film a porno, and they have
It's
the
like
discussion
they're
about dignity.
They're at rock bottom, and she says, "This is the point where people start having sex for money, or making porn."
Selling themselves or making porn, and
Zach's just like, "Wait a minute."
wait, we could do this. He tells me, I talked to Brandon, and he was like, he makes and distributes his own movies.
Yeah.
And then you have the cutaway of Zach's fantasy of Elizabeth Banks licking a beer bottle.
Yep.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah. That stays in my head. Yeah.
But then, like, he's like, it's $20 a pop. There are at least 800 people who would watch this, and it would be everybody in there.
Now, there's one line
class.
I have here is like, well, yeah, I saw him. I met a guy, Brandon. It was a very nice guy. I'll see who he's fucking. Yeah, I knew him.
Look at his fucking dick.
Yeah. I sat next to him in physics. I'll look at his ass.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you find out that somebody in your class made a porn, you're gonna look up that porn.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I had one years ago. I swear to God, I know one of the girls in it. I swear I went to school with her. I'm not saying any names or anything, but oof.
But my point is that if you hear that one of your classmates made a porn and it's like available to rent, buy, stream, what have you, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend anything else. So
And here's one of my favorite scenes in there when you get to Craig Robinson, because they try to convince him to bankroll and he's going to go out and going to get a flat screen TV.
Yep.
Well, what we're trying to do, we're trying to get 2 flat screen TVs. You get one for your living room and one in the bathroom. I always wanted to watch when I shit.
When I shit.
Yeah,
shit while I shit, yes.
it's dead, man. Like, oh, but he has that beautiful way of, like, if he was in the 40s, he'd be that deadpan actor.
Yep.
You know, much like Bud Abbott or something like that. Like, there's that same dry delivery. I fucking love it.
He's a very funny person.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one who deadpanned in Hot Tub Time Machine that it's like a hot tub time machine.
Like a hot tub
and
time
then he
machine.
turns
Everyone
and
looks at the camera.
Only him.
Yeah.
He breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
But it's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah. and they gather people together to help, and then
Oh, the auditions.
and then but go through the names of the pornos.
I was like,
They-
who
they-
the fuck? Huh.
They want to create a porno that will sell,
Yeah.
and the ones that people remember are definitely the ones that are parodies.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Now-
have a couple.
And
Yeah.
I own a couple myself because it's not a lie.
Yeah.
It's like, we have a couple, and these people, English is their third or fourth language.
Right.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, one of them is a Star Wars porn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have a list of porn parodies in alphabetical order, the top 20.
Oh goodness.
Nice.
Yeah, the top 20 porn parody names here, just to read through, because the whole list just had me laughing hysterically. But then I found this because I wanted to read these through.
Yep.
Yeah, this just reminds me. There was a Spoonie video
Yeah.
where it was like Linkara, Brad Jones, and like a couple other people from Channel Awesome would kind of pipe in during the review and just read off the titles of porns.
Yeah.
And like Brad Jones was just like, "Oh, I own that one." Somebody else.
And, when we had Brad Jones on the show and I was talking about him getting on and talking to him about it, and that was one of the things, he was laughing hysterically. He listened to a couple of our episodes and how we worked in the Adam and Eve thing. He's like, dude, I'm definitely, because that's funny as hell. He listened to the Harvey episode.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And he heard that, he's like, I'm definitely, because that's funny as hell. And, but this is one thing, you could see my humor came out of it when I'm reading this. So the 20 top ones here that I just fucking love: Ace Ventura Crack Detectives, Dawson's Crack,
Oh God.
Dr. Butt Love and How I Stopped to Clench and Love the Plug,
That's better than the original.
Drill Bill, Edward Penis Hands,
Yes, Edward Penis Hands. I knew that.
E.T. Eddie Torres, The Extra Testicle,
Oh no.
Everyone I Did Last Summer, Evil Head, Ferris Bueller Gets Off, 51st Orgasms, Forrest Hump, Goodwill Humping Horad, Intercourse with a Vampire, Laura Croft Womb Raider, Meet Joe's Black Cock, Muffy Vampire Layer, My Big Fat Greek Cock, Ocean's 11 Inches.
Oh God, that was probably boring as fuck.
It's
Probably
very
better
long.
than the original.
Yeah. Going a little further than 20 here. On Golden Blonde, Pulp Friction, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Romancing the Bone, Saturday Night Fever, Schindler's Fist, Shaving
God.
Rides Private, Slutter Island, Star Wars Episode 4, New Hole, The Bitches of E-Stick,
Oh my God.
the Da Vinci Load, and my favorite of all here, Hitchhiker's Guide to the G-Spot.
Okay.
Let's see, but then there's also Dante's Code.
That's not a parody though.
No,
And that's
just
softcore.
It's making, but oh god, it's so bad.
Oh, it's
But
just,
it just
Okay, but
poor parody shit makes me laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
I've seen the porn parody Miami Spice.
Yeah.
It's from the 80s.
Oh, God.
There's bush everywhere.
Push everywhere in weird suits, weird white suits. and
Because later,
Yeah.
there's an entire like orgy scene, and I'm like, where did these people come from? Like, there's cocaine and orgies going on, and I'm just like, how did this happen? And I was a kid at the time when I watched this, so even still, I'm going,
What
How
the
did this
fuck?
happen? Oh, and I've seen Beverly Hills Cops too. Yep, that's another '80s one. It's
Was it Asshole Foley? Was his name?
no, because it's a woman who's actually the
Oh.
yeah. It's a flip.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, hell.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. No.
I'm not getting into it.
She's different.
She's
Yeah.
looking for a guy who's got, like, he's the bad guy, but he's got a tattoo on his dick. So she's got to fuck through all these people till she finds him. It's
Well, she's gonna follow through.
It's also, I think that one is the first time I ever saw a lesbian scene as well.
Gotcha.
Because there's girl on girl in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. I was 14 years old when I watched this, okay? I was not an adult at all.
Yeah. Do you remember the Star Wars parody names in this? Because they want to go on with sequels to it.
Revenge of the
Revenge
Shit.
of the Shit.
Revenge of the Shit, I remember.
They all anal
He's so
Final
excited.
chapter.
He's so excited about that idea, but nobody else is. They're all like, "Oh my god!"
But it
becomes something.
It's his deathbed Revenge of the Shit.
All anal final chapter. And they're like, okay.
So they get together. They're gonna put people in the movie called the Star Wars parody Star Wars, and Delaney, who's the film's producer
So
here.
yeah, okay. So
He's the goalie from the hockey team.
no, not
Yeah.
Delaney. That's the
Yeah.
cameraman. Delaney
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
producer.
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah. And
what's
so-
Jeff.
Jeff, right?
Jeff
Never mind.
Anderson
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that
What's
one.
his character name? I can't. Deacon.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Got the D name
yeah,
wrong.
and then they rent a equipment here and use a building as a studio, and they're leaving. They're like, "Oh, that went really good. Everything's filming good. Everything's fine. Yeah, what could go
And
wrong?"
I'm just like, "Fuck you! Don't say that
The
ever."
next day, the building's getting bulldozed to the ground
kind of-
because they got scammed.
We kind of skip over the actual auditions.
the recruiting with
We've got
Bubbles,
Bubbles
and
and Lester and
Lester, the molester, cock and stuff.
I was like, that's a great porn name.
What, I have a
wait,
porn name?
Porn name? Then I want my name to be Pete Jones. Like, it's just like, all right.
It's the way they shoot. Then they just turn and look at each other like, "Wait, what?"
Lester, played by Jason Mewes, is a complete idiot, but he's good at what he does.
He's the thing is he's kind of a kind-hearted idiot.
But he's happy to be there.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not like, okay, I gotta fuck a guy. Okay, good. I'd rather
I'd
fuck
rather
a girl.
fuck a girl. And they're all like,
do it.
what? But it's
He's a professional.
he's really funny. He's like, so what special skills do you have? He's like, well, I've got a big dick and I can get hard really
I
fast.
can make it stand up really straight.
And they're like, and she's like, that's talent. Like,
They're skeptical initially, but then
oh. And then you've got oh god, what the heck's his name? I can't remember his name. He's got the baby faced one. When he's doing this, Barry.
Yeah.
Barry, yes.
That's how Barry and Bubbles met.
Barry
It's like
and
you brought
Bubbles.
people
You
together.
bring people together. It's like she did a bachelor party where I was the star. Thank you very much. I love Barry's character too. He's like, and scene.
Yeah, played by Rick Mabe.
He's very funny. I like him very much. Just everybody. And Tracy Lords with her queefing act.
Her name Bubbles.
Her name Bubbles. And all of it, she's sitting on the bed and she's chewing gum.
it's not casual like that.
They're just having a discussion. She's on the bed, legs spread, shaking up the bubbles, and it's just like you're not expecting this to happen, and then suddenly it happens. It's just, everybody's like,
Oh, come on, you know where it's
Craig
going.
Robinson's like, we gotta like, preview the today's.
Oh yeah. So this shit,
We're just
Those are dressed over her head.
He's like, I love the movies.
Now that was the one I lost it, where he's like tried, but it is stuttering of the producer, we don't have to have sex or anything, but what we're gonna have to do is, I'm gonna just see what you're going at. You don't have to.
You can do anything if you're not
comfortable. Do that. Woo! I love the movie business.
The movies.
It is. This movie is great.
I mean, with him, you could watch him on mute. You can see that. You can see him, but he's just that. Nobody can deliver like that.
No.
Nobody can deliver like that, man.
He's very, very funny. I love him very much.
Yeah.
Yes. It's, like I said, out of all the movies in this month, there is only one he's not in.
So with that, then they get together, they get everything, and then that the building's demolished. They ran out of money.
Oh, the costumes are gone now.
The costumes are gone.
Everything's been smashed
Everything's
because they got conned by the guy who quote unquote owned the building.
Oh, he owned the building. He sold it.
Yeah.
And then somebody came and knocked the shit down.
Yeah, and he's off to Florida somewhere, where he may be. And they're at the coffee shop, and the boss who threatened to put a camera in, and he realizes where it is, and he realizes how he can do it.
Yep.
What he can do is, I know that. Why'd they put a camera in there?
Because I am a terrible, untrustworthy employee. I tell you.
Or they
Look at all this production value waiting to have balls on it.
Swallow my cappuccino.
And they reshoot. They're going to shoot the film, and they're going to use the coffee shop motif and use it after hours.
Oh god.
And
I can only think of the legal ramifications of this, but I'm just going with it for the movie.
I'm just thinking in the movie, oh god, you know how fast the internet would clock where that is and spread it all over.
2008, maybe not as much.
Yeah, now,
Considering I don't think Bean and Gone is a chain. I think it's just a.
I think it's a solo.
It's a solo thing.
Yeah.
It's not a Dunkin' or a Starbucks.
Yeah.
So
I just like during the first night of filming, fucking Willem wanders in.
This is where I lost it.
Yep. The pirates.
I don't think it's the same guy.
Yeah.
No, but it's the same idea of that kind of character.
Where you see it, where you have Katie Morgan and Jason Mewes together with Stacy, and doing their whole scene. I didn't want to see Jason Mewes' ass, and no one ever does.
No, but
when the guy comes in, orders it, and they're stood there, she
just stopped.
Yeah, they stopped doing that, and she goes,
This guy just shows up.
"Hi, hey."
I'll get some coffee to drive home.
Yeah.
Please don't drive home.
Yeah. You guys still open?
Football.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Look at your kitty. Let's dog. Look at your.
Hi, kitty.
It's
just right before that too is before he even walks in, you get the boom mic that comes down. you get somebody pouring coffee beans over the middle. You can hear her from hers. Ow!
Coffee bean hurts.
She's getting hit with coffee beans. It's like, okay, now, okay, now we're gonna pull out the shot. No, it doesn't mean you can pull out, Lester.
No, keep going. Go ahead. But the guy when he shows up and he's just standing there, he's like,
not a clue. Just drunk as fuck.
I need coffee. Here on the house. Go. I fucking lost it.
But the whole scene is paused. Everybody just stops.
Jason Mewes just looking like, all right. When Stacey just goes, hi.
It's just,
here we have here.
and he's.
Oh man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very, very funny.
And despite that, when Zack and Miri are talking earlier, they're writing the scenes, and there's one scene that they're gonna have to have sex together, but they don't want it to affect their friendship.
But they already discussed this.
Yeah.
But then it's the whole: do they have multiple sex scenes with other people?
With other people,
and that's where it starts
because
getting weird.
the first thing that Zach said to her was,
it doesn't mean anything. It's just
well, it doesn't mean anything, and
It's
basically,
business.
will you have sex with me from on camera for money?
And
she
I'm like,
says
will you
yes.
have sex with me on camera for money?
Yes. And then the whole, you're gonna have to have sex with other people,
Yeah.
and that's what, exactly right, Cass. It's when things start getting a little weird.
Yeah.
like the jealousy comes in.
Yes, and
The jealousy that he doesn't realize is there.
I had a friend of mine who used to tell me that her heart was in her vagina. I'm not kidding.
Her vagina.
I know,
her
and I
heart,
know exactly who you're talking
yeah,
about,
her
too.
heart was in her vagina. So if she had sex with a guy, even if it meant nothing, she would start catching feelings. So, I mean, I can't say that for myself, but I can understand it for others.
Yeah.
So, having sex with someone that you know very well, have been with for a very long time, and honestly care about, it's going to change things.
It's going to, there's no way around that. And I mean, I knew that. And I remember when Kaz and I first started dating, I was one that was like, in my mind, I'm like, I knew if I had sex with somebody, it had to be meaningful.
Yeah, see, I'm
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
the same way. I'm
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
way because I don't know if it's again because of how I was brought up or whatever else, but sex is something that you can do if you're feeling good, and to me, feelings don't have to get involved.
Right.
But
Meanwhile, for me, nothing works unless there's feelings.
which
Right.
You know, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
and I'm the exact opposite of that.
I'm
I'm
uncomfortable.
it doesn't really matter to me. But if I'm in a relationship, that's different.
Yeah.
But if I'm not in a relationship, I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
a deal for me.
And I've never been that way, and I see it, but I do see, when it does change stuff.
It does change things.
It does
really
change
does.
things. It does change it for them, and I mean, their scene is funny as hell.
Their scene is funny, and it's also really
It's
sweet.
super-
it's sweet at the same time.
They do the fake bad acting thing.
Oh, the fake back.
Yeah.
Okay, that part is hysterical.
Yeah.
I have this crate of cream. Do you want my cream?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
only but if you put it on my face. Like, it's so bad. And then she hits a wall, and he's like, be careful, Mary. Like,
Yeah. But when she starts
Because
undoing
she's on heels and she's like unsteady on them.
right.
Yeah, when she starts undoing his pants and he looks to the camera and breaks the fourth wall, like, hey!
I was
Like,
just trying to deliver. I was just trying to make it deliver. It's like, what the hell is that awkward movie? Is that a rumba?
You do it. I think it's a mambo.
Would y'all shut the fuck up? But yeah, it's like their actual sex scene.
yeah.
When you watch the sex scene and they play Live's "Hold Me Up," which was not ever released. I actually know a bit about this song because I actually looked it up.
Really?
Yes,
Well, I mean, it was
Hold Me Up.
it's part of our wedding album.
It's part of our wedding album. "Hold Me Up" is by the band Live. It was never put out on CD or anything else. It was never published, never for public consumption, I guess.
Just in the movie?
Well, Kevin Smith had heard it, and he really, really liked it.
Yeah.
And he wanted to use it. And he had to get permission and everything from Live in order to do it. Which he ended up doing. He ended up
Where
getting
did you hear it then? Live?
I don't know where he heard it.
in
I
person?
think it's probably one of those things. Yeah, he probably heard it in person or something of the effect. But he had heard the song. He liked it so much he wanted it in his movie, and he got the permission to do it. As far as I know, the song still has not been. You might be able to find it now streaming
Maybe.
download. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had to go to a MySpace page. Okay, I had to go to a MySpace page who played it. I had to get a
Where did they get
perfectly
it?
legal way to rip it from MySpace,
yes.
And then my brother ended up
Those-
cleaning up the audio a bit because it sounded a little tinny.
It was shit.
It was.
Yes.
And my brother managed to clean it up really, really well. And it was part of our, we played it at our wedding.
Nice.
Nice.
So, like I said, as far as I know, I haven't looked it up in a while, but as far as I know, the song was never actually put out. I don't know if it's on the soundtrack or not. I just know what I had to do to get it.
And the song doesn't have a moan at the
No,
break
there's no
either. And
moaning.
That's
No moaning in it.
sad. It feels better when there is the moan there.
And yeah, and I saw that. I'm like, okay, that scene's really sweet, especially to kind of see, like, you know, especially Elizabeth Banks' character kind
Right,
of turning and
You see,
yeah,
they had a discussion at the very beginning
Yeah.
of the movie about how she was looking up vibrators on Amazon because hers broke, and he finds the fleshlight,
Yeah.
and he buys the fleshlight.
It's like
And
fucking a flashlight.
It's like fucking a flashlight.
Sweet.
They talk
That's one
about
of them?
how she's never had, no man has ever made her come like a vibrator.
yeah,
She does make that
yeah,
very clear.
yeah,
And then during their sex scene, she comes.
yeah,
And
It's like
we assume.
it's even at the very beginning of it. Like they're supposed to be doing the whole, you know, big make a scene out of it, but they both kind of lock
They,
in.
they lose
It
that
just-
entire thing.
as
and
soon
it just
as
becomes
like
about
just
them.
boom, oh shit, and they're
Yeah.
having
It's
and they're having
quite
their moment.
romantic
It's romantic and pretty and
not exactly not what they need for the porno.
right.
yeah.
And then
Yeah, but it's the cutaways too. I'm like, this is it.
we've got Elizabeth Banks like laying on the coffee beans in bags, and they're all leaving. And Tracy Lords looks over to her and basically says that she did such a good job and you looked so beautiful. And Mary leans back and
She's playing just like, yeah, it was cool, it was fine, everything was cool, and then everyone leaves, and she's just like, oh,
no,
and lays back.
she lays back, but she's got this huge smile on her face.
Yeah,
And Zach, when he was walking out and the door closed, you get a close up of his face, and it's very much a like wow sort of
yeah,
Like everything just changed.
everything,
Yeah.
not just changed, but everything fit.
yeah.
Like
It made sense.
Yeah.
Like it just made sense that this was right.
yes, and then you have a scene with them at home, and
The after party.
that for the after party where they're sitting at home with a barrel, and they're going to discuss what just happened, and
then
suddenly the lights turn on.
The lights
Yeah.
turn back on.
And the water's on, and the heat's on, and then you get a knock on the door, and it's everybody from the crew because they want to have their after party now. And
Yeah.
it comes with lots of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
We'll do that, and you know the line that I had from Craig Robinson, in my producer capacitory, I am going ahead and saying that we're holding production, and we're going to go ahead and get shit faced now.
Get a little silly.
In my producerial capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just
And then that's when y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
yeah,
Up in here.
yeah.
Yeah, See, that has played so many times while playing the new Saints Row that it kind of lost meaning to me.
Yeah. When they're going to discuss the reaction to the scene, everybody comes, but everybody pulled together money, and they're throwing the rap party early, but they have
Cover the
1
bills
month
for
of
1 month.
bills for a month.
Yeah.
And at the party, there's Stacy says, you know, if I ask her, we have the scene tomorrow with Zach, what if I go have sex with him right now?
Like I'm nervous about my scene, so why don't I just go have sex with him now and get it
Yeah.
over with?
Get a feel for it.
And
And she said,
Miri,
is that okay with you?
Yeah.
yeah, and Miri says basically, this is the part I don't like.
This
Yeah.
is
Is this
Because-
the big silly misunderstanding?
Yeah.
But it's
not-
also it's a test,
Yeah.
and he
It's a
he
test,
even,
and she knows full well
she
he's going to
knows-
fail this
she
test because he's an
knows-
idiot.
She
Yeah.
knows it's a test. She's testing him on purpose,
Yeah.
and then gets mad when he fails it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Why doesn't he just not
well,
fail it?
it's but why should he even have to go through the test?
Yeah.
And here's the fun part: he didn't fail it.
No, he didn't.
She just assumed.
She assumed he did and he doesn't clear up the misunderstanding, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
He
The
doesn't-
point
he
is,
doesn't tell her
and
otherwise. But
he brings it up, the fact that it was a fucking test, and you sound like a jealous fucking girlfriend
Yeah.
right now. And it is a test, and she even says it's a test. How And it's
If it was a
bullshit.
test, how do you think you did?
It's bullshit. There should not have been a test. What people need to do is talk.
Yeah.
Like,
To each other like fucking grown-ups,
Yeah.
people.
yes.
Yeah.
There should not have been a test at all.
Yeah.
And it's that part. This is the part that kind of pisses me off. It's the only part of the movie that actually pisses me off because I do not agree with what Miri does here
Yeah.
at all.
I don't agree with it either.
No, it's about communication. If you didn't want him to sleep with her, then
so.
say so.
No.
And
Yeah.
guess what? He definitely would have taken your opinion into consideration. But you didn't even give him the option. You just basically opened up this realm of possibility, and then got upset when it didn't go your way.
And we found out later, as we find out later, he didn't do it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
They just talked.
They just
Yeah.
talked
About
her.
Yeah.
But
and how everything's different now, and I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
But that, overnight it makes it look like he spent the night with Stacy. And then the next day they go into film, and it's supposed to be Miri and Lester's scene.
Yeah.
And
Zach's all mad. He's
Zach's
like, "Why'd you come today?"
right, Zach's all mad because she showed up. And again,
You talked to her.
there's been no communication.
Yeah.
So of course she's gonna show up. It's her scene with him. Nothing has been decided between the two of them. And then they get into a fight about what happened with Stacy the night before, and he basically tells her exactly how he feels. He's in love with her, and things weren't supposed to change, but they did, and now you can't reverse it.
Yeah.
And
then
throws it in
she's
his face.
vicious.
She is vicious in this scene because she's upset. And
she goes straight. She goes
So,
for the jugular.
yeah, it's like, I'm sorry. Basically, I'm sorry, but it was just sex. Like, it didn't mean
and
anything.
This, I don't blame him for storming out.
No.
Even. I really don't. And I've always told, and I think when Kaz and I went through a communications class a while back, and I think we kind of knew with each other, and I told people, I'm like, if you're upset with me, tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not supposed to, I'm not a mind reader.
No.
And then just, to tell me what's going on and let's talk about it. Like, let's go through it.
Joss and I were stuck living with somebody for the longest time who got mad that we didn't read his damn mind and do what he wanted before he ever even asked about something.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, communicate.
Yeah.
Be adults.
And I know for myself, I'm one person that'll go through, I'll have something in my head and I'll just, I have pure OCD. And I'll go through something, I'll get something in my head, and if anybody deters from that, I'll get anxious, anxiety, I'll start creeping up.
Right.
It's like, I was doing a thing. Oh, God, I'm not doing a thing.
But I've had to, but I had to know, I'm like, wait, you have no reason to know that I have 4 other things planned today.
Right.
I have 4 other things planned, so I've taken a lot of time for me to learn to communicate that out myself. I'm not saying I'm just saying that because I'm not perfect either.
Right. None of us are.
Yeah.
Dan and I have come a long way when it comes to communication. Now to the point where it's like we don't hide anything at all from each other.
No need.
Hey, I'm going to a concert next week. I'm going with my friend so and so.
Yep.
And he's like, okay,
Have fun.
have fun. Like, we don't if
Like concerts,
We need-
concerts are absolutely your thing.
Yep.
Me, I have way too much just
The people.
it's I don't know if it's social anxiety or if it's just fear of crowds or whatever. Just
Noise.
that many people. Noise I can handle. It's just that many people at once. I've been to concerts. I've had fun, but it's always had that undercurrent of just anxiety because I'm just
Okay.
surrounded by throngs of people.
here's the deal. At least when it comes to concerts, for me, I get really fucked up. I'm not gonna lie about it. I get very fucked up while I'm there, and I have a really good time because I don't give 2 shits. I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah. Hey, remember, you told me a story about you trying to find your Uber and you had to call it a bunch of times across the street.
But okay. In my defense, all right, we were grown-ups about this where we weren't going to drive because we knew we were going to get fucked up, and then we went to a bar after the concert, which was not planned, and we got drunk as well as stoned.
You got drunk with an anime character.
I got drunk with a legit anime character, I swear to God. And I'm not even kidding about it. I'm not saying this like, oh no, it's like, nah, this dude was Asian with blue eyes. His name is Shadow. Come on!
Was his hair spiky?
A little bit. So I am sorry.
Did he have a big fucking sword?
No.
It might have been in the car. We don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it might have been in his car. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I've met this kid twice, but that's not the point. My
Buster
point
sword
is,
strapped to the roof of a Geo Metro.
and
Fucking love it.
he's the what's the they only eat fish.
Pescatarian.
He's that.
Yeah.
But my point is,
Yeah.
that day I was also drunk. And I was standing outside this bar, and we could not figure out that the Uber kept going across the street. We thought we were standing in the right place. We were not. So all these cars, we kept looking for a car that never showed up, and then I realized, oh fuck, it's that one over there. Wait, before you leave! And
I'm so
we
sorry.
ran over. It was a day.
Sounds like a night.
It was a great night. It was a lot of fun.
Man.
But yeah, when I go to a concert, I get fucked up. It's. I'm not lying about this. My point though is there was a point to this.
It's
Is
the fact
that-
that even
Communication,
we
yeah.
even though
communicate.
I'm not along with you, I'm fine with you
If-
doing it because I trust you. And we talk.
And it's if I need him to do something for me, like I need you to do the dishes, or I need you to. My point though is I will tell you. I don't hide that shit.
Yeah.
I might get annoyed if you don't do what I asked, but
If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. You don't need to remind me every 6 months.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Is this turning into an argument?
Yeah, it's just fun to watch.
I was just jabbing at myself there.
Yeah. Now,
oh yeah.
you're right with the communication. I don't blame Zach for leaving because
No.
you get
No.
3 months later. He's
I'm damned impressed that he moved out in the span of what, an hour and a half?
yeah.
Yeah.
He probably didn't have much to himself anyway.
No, it was his bedroom and what he
Yeah.
had in his bedroom. So
Yeah, he didn't
and
have
even
much
if we were
either.
just to move out our bedroom, it would take
oh
longer than
god,
that.
it would take longer than an hour and a half. Though we say that we moved an entire house out in 4 hours
Yeah.
with no.
And you left me alone in a room with him.
It's not my fault.
You people.
My point is though,
Yeah, it was a
That-
move out situation where it was
I'm not
basically
going into that.
But it was like big old box, arm, swipe the entire desk into the box and just go.
Yeah.
So, but my point though is, if you need to get out in a hurry,
Yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
Like he obviously, you're right. He
Yeah.
probably didn't have a lot. He
I don't-
probably had.
He probably only had a few things. Maybe if.
It seems that you don't
Clothes.
delve too deeply into their
Yeah.
like lives to the point where you know that
Didn't they
he
also
likes
share-
hockey.
Didn't they also share a car?
They did
Yeah.
share a car.
Did he take her car?
I don't think so.
So he was just carrying all of his hockey
Where
gear
did he
and
go?
every
Oh, he might have taken the car. He might have actually taken the car. I might be lying to you. I think.
we
because
ever
they
find out where the hell he
shared that shitty
They shared
old
the car.
Police Classic.
I mean, he's in Pennsylvania, and he's further down because you have Delaney finding him
at a
yeah,
hockey game.
at a hockey stadium.
It's outside a hockey stadium.
Yeah,
It's a
where
weird
he's
carnival
yeah.
where
Sort of, yeah.
the teens
It's
want to
kinda-
shoot him in the nuts.
It's kind of like a boardwalk.
Yeah,
We shot you in the nuts. It's like, it's my job to get shot in the nuts.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're fucking gone.
yeah. And they convince him to come back because there's some unfinished business.
Because
The
he
film that has to be
owes Delaney
completed.
money.
Yeah,
He's been paying Delaney slowly, but he owes Delaney money.
Yeah,
Delaney
And
says, you don't owe me shit anymore
But
if
it's
you
not-
just come back here.
but the movie's not finished.
yeah.
We don't have an
the plot.
ending.
It's
He's like,
like,
we ain't got no ending. We
It's
got
like-
this scene, we got
Well,
Barry and Bubbles, and we
like-
got this boring action.
Oh, I like the whole. There's no ending. What do you mean? There's no ending? Come shot credits.
We are skipping over a pretty big plot point, but it is also very gross. So we will just say when Zach storms out after the argument, he
Oh, yeah.
interrupts another scene in progress, and
This is some damn good coffee.
she shits on him by accident, and we get to see
Stacey
it.
accidentally shits all over
Okay.
Deacon.
What
On his
she
face.
says,
And there's corn.
what she
Yeah.
says is not wrong.
Yeah,
But that anal will clear
Anal
out
can
its
help.
constipation.
It's like a plunger.
Constipation.
yeah. With that same sound.
Plunger.
But at the same time,
Deacon is in a real bad position, but hey, you gotta
Hey,
get the
watch
angle.
watch that pull out.
Yeah.
Yep. Watch that
But
bullet.
it's
I'm in the line of fire.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that just gets me because it's like it goes back to Clerks. Where he's doing the same actor, the same thing, and the other. So you think that's offensive? Look at this. You can see your fucking kidneys.
You can see your kidneys. Oh,
Jeff Anderson. Jeff Anderson is very funny.
Yeah, he is very funny, but he has that he's the one that almost always goes over the line a little bit. And he's willing to do that.
He's that one friend that is the one that always gets everybody in trouble.
Over a little bit for that. And
I'm not going to go into Clerks 2 and what he says about people, and I'm taking the word back because I'm not going to say the word.
No, I'm taking it back.
But
it's okay.
But point is, he's basically Randall if Randall was a little bit toned down.
Yeah.
Although his rendition of Lord of the Rings is freaking great.
Oh, it is great. Just like book 2, walk, trip.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
He's not wrong. He is
3,
not fucking wrong.
Ring.
Walk back the other way. Shrug. Walk away. I'm like, yes.
He's not wrong.
That's a perfectly constructed scene. So, while he's watching that, he's saying, and then Delaney says one thing. He says, sometimes it takes somebody to show something, brought us all together and show something that's there, that's been right in front of you all along.
It's like, without you two, the Barry and Bubbles wouldn't have gotten together. Without, this, that, and then I don't even know what this motherfucker used to be.
White
and his
supremacist?
white supremacist?
Man, shut up.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Or they both turn and look at it and go, look, man, it's got to happen. I don't know what... Sorry, I just activated the Chino.
Oh.
Yeah.
How dare you move your foot.
Yeah.
Chino, relax.
So...
He doesn't like
and they get back, and he heads back to the apartment, and they do sort of like a famed scene, like running to the airport at last minute type thing.
He runs into this apartment, and everything is still there. He goes to open the bathroom. He says, "Mary," and she says, "Zach," and he opens the bathroom door.
Oh my God, Zach!
Oh my God! The door was closed. It was closed over. It doesn't make. Get the fuck out, Zach!
It wasn't closed. It was closed over.
And then they have he has his confession where it's like, but you didn't fuck Lester.
Yeah.
And everything. Then Lester comes out of what was Mary's room.
Mary's bedroom, buck ass nude.
And he walks over, he gets a drink out of the fridge.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even care if you're fucking Lester.
And she's
like,
no.
And he's like, and that's when Lester tells him the truth. It's like, no, you moved out. Yeah, you moved out. She needed rent money, and so I moved in to help, and I like being naked, so
yeah. Then you get the Dutch rudder.
It's genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like,
why's he got to do all that while making eye contact the whole time?
Because he's Jason Mewes.
Yeah,
because it's supposed to to be uncomfortable. And
just look at you're like, okay, you do that. Hang on, do it. Yeah.
You're working my arm. I'm working my dick.
Yeah.
Totally not gay.
It's like, oh, there could be the double Dutch rudder. It's just like, ugh.
I don't want to alarm you. I may have just jerked off Lester a little. It's like the Dutch rudder cat. It's a genius, isn't it?
But they get together and he
find out that she moved her room over to his old room
because she could smell him.
Because it smells like him.
It smells like you.
I don't smell anything.
I don't get it.
But it's maybe because she loves you, and that's when she comes out and they have their cute little reunion, and let us fuck, which has become the tagline.
And they go back to Mary's room, and it's Lester's, and God knows what he's doing in there. They walk in like, oh, wrong room.
And then the movie ends. But if you watch through the credits a little bit,
did you watch?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see,
I knew it was coming.
You see that Rich Productions.
Yeah.
Because the post office settled, and I'm Oprah rich.
And I'm Oprah rich, like 160 large, son.
So I guess they start their own Zack and Miri Make your porno company.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bring couples together.
But you'll think that what was it? You'll think that.
There was
Which
a director standing at the foot of your bed.
You'll think
Martin
that
Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese snuck into your room and caught you fucking.
See, and their website is zackandmiri.com, and you know what? That's a real domain that you can buy now.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They've opened up a little. I mean, it's not super recent, but they opened up a lot of new domain names and a lot of fucking weird ones.
Did XXX?
But I like the whole the boom mic comes down, hits Lester in the head.
Why?
Well, he's like, we'll start with some light petting.
Dog.
And it's like, dude.
Can you do that? How do you feel about anal? No, we're not doing that.
And then you get the two of them's like, not only are we the owners, we're also clients.
And then start trying to
And
bang out
his
the
name
disc.
is Zach Linky Brown and Miriam Linky Brown.
And I love the fact that it pissed off the fucking idiots. Like, that's the one
it?
thing that got it. Like, they're like, you wouldn't believe it, they demasculating men. I'm like, yeah.
Did you watch the rest of the movie?
Yeah, like all the other shit that happened? No, we're good. Yeah.
They didn't have a problem with the
Yeah.
cameraman getting shit on us.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
to me, that just sounds like me making one of my aunts watch Dogma.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And she was like a staunch Catholic.
Yeah.
So she basically called me the devil after I made her watch it.
Remember, we also pretended we were vampires too.
That was my grandmother.
All right.
That was a different thing. It's a completely different thing.
Vampire the Masquerade came out right after the Satanic Panic ended, so every single one of their books has a big disclaimer in the front. It's like, you're not actually a vampire, this isn't real.
My grandmother found my Vampire the Masquerade second edition.
It's
Yeah.
like a first edition, I think, was like in 92.
Yeah.
So it was just coming off the Satanic Panic.
Yeah, it was second edition that she found.
Great.
And she picked it up and went, Jocelyn, do you think you're a vampire? And she did it so nicely about it because she didn't know how to broach the subject.
Yep.
And that's when I opened up the first page and had her read the disclaimer.
Yeah,
And she felt lots better after
This
that.
is basically a board game.
As I said, you have to, you have stats and there's paper and you roll dice and it's
And the
basically playing pretend with your friends.
And the biggest nerd in the room controls the story.
And she got it after that though.
Yeah.
This was different. I made my aunt watch this and I did it on purpose to make people uncomfortable. So, but that was me being mean. I don't like arguing about religion. So
Yeah.
this was me being mean on purpose.
No, it's you're asking the connection to the Askew universe.
Yes.
There is connections to it, and actually, I was right. Brandon St. Randy is in another movie.
What else is he in?
He's in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
I've seen it. How did I miss it?
Yeah.
That's right, he is.
Yeah, so
I have
I'm like,
seen it.
he has been there. I knew it. He's an uncredited cameo when he does that character again. And then he claimed that it does not take place and that I consciously tried to avoid connections. The Askewverse staples, Jay and Silent Bob, make no appearance there. That Smith went as far as to not feature any nail cigarette brand reoccurring in the branded film. He later changed his mind by featuring Justin Long in an uncredited cameo in Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yep.
And Jay and Silent Bob and Saban Films lawyer. Though he never had named the character due to being owned by the Weinstein Company, Smith confirmed that he retroactively adds Zack and Miri Make a Porno to the Askew universe, but in a deleted scene in Clerks 3, Jay mentions that he has a cousin named Lester who's a former adult star, has since switched to OnlyFans. So
That's fantastic.
I haven't seen Clerks 3 yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
But
like,
I love the first two. I love the first two, so it just it works. It works.
You watched the reboot with me because you're giving me looks.
No, I didn't.
Rosario Dawson is even in it because she plays Jay's girlfriend from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Jay's girlfriend or Dante's?
Jay's.
Yeah. I
Jay and
thought it was
Silent Bob
Dante. Yeah.
No, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He's with Shannon Elizabeth. I cannot remember. Remember, she's a thief. She's a diamond thief.
Uh-huh.
Yo, boo boo kitty fuck.
Sure.
Okay. Well,
I'm telling you, I haven't seen this reboot.
I watched it right there, but never mind.
You watched it there. Didn't mean it was me. Doesn't mean it was me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
There's a scene at the end where because at the time Kevin Smith and what the hell's his name? Oh God, what's his name? Played Holden.
Kinda got me on that one. Yeah.
He's from around here. Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck had a falling out, and that's why Ben Affleck didn't show up in some of the View Askew movies later on. During the filming of the reboot, the two of them got back together. Essentially, they became friends again, which is why he did a cameo at the end of the reboot. And the little girl that he has a child, is actually Jason Mewes' daughter.
Oh.
And she plays
I knew about that.
she plays Ben Affleck's daughter.
Yeah.
And there's a really cute scene where the two of them are talking, and the little girl is just kind of walking around between them, and you see Jason Mewes do this. It's very visual, but he's waving at her, like to get her attention, and he's smiling, and it's such a dad thing.
Yeah.
It's such a that's my kid.
Yeah.
It's so cute, that scene. It's just really, really cute.
It's great.
It is. It's definitely a worthwhile thing.
That's great.
But this also is around the same time where I believe Jason Mewes still had a heroin addiction at this point.
Yeah, he's been clean and sober since 2010.
Yeah, so he was
super, super struggling because that's the year he nearly died.
Yeah. So
and he almost wasn't in Clerks 3 for that very reason.
which is right. Well, Clerks 3 was relatively recent.
Yeah. But it just, Kevin Smith wanted to make sure he was clear, free and clear, everything was fine. But, and he sat with him and then did that, had a very long talk. I think with this one, I think we can kind of agree no fantasy casting on this.
It would be difficult for me. It would be really difficult for me just because there's no subbing in Craig Robinson. I don't care what anybody says. There's no subbing in for him. Yeah. Jay playing Lester, if you can find someone else who could play like that, good luck to you.
No. It was all damn funny.
To me, Elizabeth Banks is so underrated.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
And she is...
I mean, she was also Rita Repulsa.
She was Rita Repulsa, but that's not even... Yeah, she was.
She was.
But I just remember seeing her in Scrubs, and I'm just like, wait, I've seen that face.
Yeah.
She has been in a lot of movies, like, I don't know if you've seen any of the, what the hell is it? Acapella movies.
Pitch Perfect?
Pitch Perfect. The Pitch Perfect movies. She's the writer-director of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she was in, she did a few others. She also did a Charlie's Angels reboot, who I think was kind of underrated.
Okay.
And did pretty good, and it just didn't work out very well. But she was in, as Kaz just mentioned, Scrubs. At that time, that was my
JD's
first...
Baby Mama?
Yeah, that was my first exposure where she has a quick fling girlfriend of the character of JD, of Dr. Dorian, played by Zach Braff, and they end up having a kid together. But through that, she ends up getting an internship a few states away. And, they're going to be a few months apart, but then she tells them, I had a miscarriage, and they agree not to be together. It turns out she was still pregnant. And it's one of those that was a quick shoe-in thing, and it really, really soured me because it was one of those characters that like, why the f*** are you here?
Right.
But they were going to get canceled almost after every season, so they wanted to shoe it so that way they could have that ending they wanted.
Yeah, they don't want to leave it on a cliffhanger and then your show gets canceled.
But she would be the reason why he moved away and have that last day at the hospital.
Gotcha.
And but they didn't know where it would be, and it fumbled, and even people admitted it. So that just, to me, I always see that. I see that character, I go, ooh,
right.
Why the fuck is Kim here? But this one kind of redeemed it for me.
She's in a movie with Ryan Reynolds called Definitely Maybe.
Yeah.
She plays one of the possible, love interests of his. And it's your standard rom-com sort of, the guy's talking to his daughter and trying to have her try to figure out, who basically the love of his life is.
Yeah.
And she plays one of the characters who is a possibility.
Yeah.
And she turns out to be his ex-wife, his daughter's mother. But she's not the love of his life. It was actually somebody else.
Oh.
But they are divorced, but they are still amicable. And that's the first time I ever saw her. It was in something like that. Her character really didn't leave that much of a impression, to be quite honest. But she is a good actress if you put her in the right roles, because she can steal the show. She's very funny.
Very true. Yeah.
So yeah, I really like her in this role because I think she is so, like I said, she's so underrated and she's so funny.
Yeah.
And then you've got oh god, I'm losing names like crazy right now. Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
You mean Bebop?
Yeah, you've got Seth Rogen, who is, some of his movies are really funny and sometimes they fall flat.
And sometimes they're Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Come at me, I hate that fucking movie.
Yeah.
But if you've seen This Is the End, Pineapple Express 2.
Yep.
Danny eats everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
You have to see the
don't
movie.
like that movie either.
no, it's to me, like I said, some of his movies are good, some of them fall flat.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be watching a movie that he is also in, which is Fanboys.
Okay.
He's in it.
He's got 3 roles in it.
Yeah, he's 3 characters.
Shit.
He's 3 different characters, and 2 of them get into a fist fight.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in. All right.
It's funny, but he is not a lead role. Yep, he's a side character. There are a lot of side characters in this movie because it is a movie based on, it's based in 1998, and it's based right before the episode 1 of Star Wars came out.
Okay.
Oh.
And yes, so it's a sort of parody comedy about Star Wars geeks
And the lengths you go to for your friends.
for your friends. Yeah. It's got I'm the only one I can think of that pops out in my head beyond is Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
She's in it.
God, what's the dude's name?
Jay something.
No, the guy who does Ain't It Cool News. They had the actor who played Willem acting as the guy who does Ain't It Cool News.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember his fucking
He's
name?
got red hair. But
And he kicks the shit out of him.
yes, it's
Oh.
we're not going into it because they haven't seen it yet. It's going to be next week. But even
this one's gonna be fun.
if you've seen Star
Yeah.
Wars, at least the originals,
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't,
Yeah.
you'll still be fine because
Okay.
it's essentially geek culture,
Okay.
and there's a lot of Rush in it.
We're in. All right.
It's
All right,
all
gang.
Rush
So we're
all the
gonna
time.
So we're gonna wrap this one up, folks. Remember to check out MovieTheaterTimeMachine.com and 4041 Media. Be good to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Don't be too good now.